Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first impressions and review on the Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation, and I'm so excited to use this product. I've heard so many YouTubers with dry skin recommend this product, and I've never heard of anyone having like allergic reaction or anything to it, so that is really awesome as well. Honestly, I really like this bottle. It is a glass bottle and it does have like a tin lid, so it's very sturdy and durable. Feels like something you could really take on the go with you. If you're traveling or anything, I think this would be a really nice foundation to take with you. So the Makeup Forever Water Blend Face and Body Foundation retails for $54 Canadian on the Sephora website. It is a lightweight water gel foundation for the face and body that provides buildable coverage with a natural looking dewy glow. It's light coverage, natural finish. Created with 80% water, Water Blend features a weightless feel and minimal natural coverage. It applies quickly and then sets to ensure long-lasting coverage with a fresh, glowing look all day. Is ideal for normal to dry skin. So if you'd like to see how this performed on my dry sensitive skin, just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a wet beauty blender to apply this foundation, and it looks like it's gonna be a good color, so let's just get right into this. Okay, so that's one layer of the product, and because it does say to wait 20 to 30 seconds before adding like another layer, I am going to wait a little bit and then try and put a second layer on. So far, it's kind of just giving a very, very light coverage, kind of like a tinted moisturizer, even lighter than most tinted moisturizers, so I definitely think I would have to personally use 2 or maybe even 3 layers of this. I feel like the sponge does soak up quite a bit of the product in it, and when you are applying it, like the product you have on the back of your hand does run out pretty fast. It does say to use a sponge though on the Sephora website. It says specifically to use the Eclipse Beauty Sponge, which I don't really know what that is. I don't know if that's specifically by Makeup Forever or what, but I'm just using my beauty blender and it seems to be soaking up a lot of the product, I think, or the product's just so sheer that it's just not giving much coverage. Like it did kind of even out my skin tone, but you can still see any red marks that I had on my face, any acne scarring, any actual acne, you can still see that on my face. It is looking very natural though, so I'm really excited about that, and it doesn't feel like I have anything on my face, so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go in with the second layer now. Okay, so here it is with the second layer. I did notice that I kind of had to put it on, wait a few seconds, and then blend it out more, because when I was trying to blend it out, it was creating like little dab marks from the beauty blender because it is so like water-based and everything. So it did kind of, it went on very different than most foundations. I do like it, but it is a little bit of a trickier formula to work with, I think, because I did try to go over a couple spots later on with my beauty blender and it was starting to remove some of the product. So I'm not sure how this is going to be with putting other products on top, especially cream products and stuff. I think I am going to try doing that today and get back to you to let you know how that's working with that, because it did surprise me that this kind of started to peel up some of the product when I was dabbing over it a bit more. I can say I have very dry skin right now, and I did put a moisturizer on, a heavier moisturizer on before I filmed this video, but I didn't put a primer on or anything because I just wanted to see how this product worked on its own and just kind of get like the full feeling of it without any other products really messing with the formula. But I did put a moisturizer on because I have insanely dry skin, so I have to put a moisturizer on. But I do find that this is like going over my dry patches really nicely. I'm not noticing any added texture or anything happening with that. I do think it's a pretty good color match for me. I did get mine in the shade Y225, which my dog's trying to lie on top of like Spuds. He's trying to lie on top of like the packing that I got, the paper packaging that I got this in, and he's just making a lot of noises while he does that. So I do find with this foundation, the more I let it sit, the more, at first it kind of looks like you have something on your skin, but very, very quickly afterwards, it does like sink in and you can't really see it as much. So I'm like really, really excited. I'm hoping this is going to look really good. And I am going to be doing like a wear test, at least for a few hours. If it goes well, probably longer. It is only like 12, yeah, it's 12:08 right now. Oh, I guess I shouldn't show you that. Has a bunch of my messages on it, but it is 12:08 right now. I would definitely say it's a light to barely medium coverage because you can still see my spots through it, but the thing is it's definitely kind of canceling them out a bit, making them a little bit less noticeable. If I wasn't like having skin freaking out right now, it would be okay. I think it'll just even out your skin tone really well, and it won't help with like actual acne spots, but other things, it's kind of just evening it out. It's pretty much covered up my freckles on my nose, but it does it in a really kind of like soft focus sort of way, if that makes any sense. It's just kind of sort of like blurring your face a bit, which is really nice, honestly. So they do say this foundation can work for normal, dry, and combination skin. I think it's pretty, like, I could probably agree with that. I mean, I don't have combination. Well, I mean, sometimes I have combination skin, but right now my skin's just very dry, so it's all I can speak of, like, at this point. But I think it's, like, working really good for my, like, extremely dry skin. I could see it working even better for when I just have kind of slightly dry skin, and I find it's like true that it's a very natural coverage. It's definitely light coverage. Yeah, like I put on 2 layers of this, and like my forehead doesn't look like it has any product on it. I can kind of see it a little bit in here, but that's where I kind of tried to go in with the Beauty Blender the second time, and it started to pick up the product and kind of almost make it more 3D rather than like sunk into my skin. So if I did it again, I probably wouldn't like touch it after I first initially put it on unless I was applying that second layer. But yeah, I'm just going to come back in a little bit and let you guys know how it's wearing, because first impressions, like when I initially put it on, are good if like I have a really strong impression, but like, you know, time is where you get the real answers with foundations and stuff. So I'm definitely going to come back in a few hours and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so I am back and I have some updates for you. First of all, don't mind my makeup. I know I have a ton of makeup on now. I was trying out a bunch of new products and everything, and I wanted to try different types of products on my face over top of this foundation because I did feel like it was going to give me some trouble, and it did give me a little bit of trouble. So I do have blush and highlight on my face, and that's pretty much it. I do have concealer on that I put underneath my eyes. So first of all, the concealer. When putting it on underneath my eyes, when it did hit this section here, it did, because I had that like little bit of like pulled up parts of the makeup from when I dabbed it with my Beauty Blender, that did create the concealer to also kind of give the same effect and not really be able to cover up properly. The liquid highlight that I used very little amount, but I did use the Beauty Blender to blend it out, and that again seemed to like kind of mess with the product a bit. Didn't really work as well. Just kind of like picked up some of the product, made it a bit more patchy, I found. Although the blush, I find that you could go over this product with like powders very easily. I don't think you'll have a problem with that. It's just like the cream and liquid products that I think you're going to have a little bit of an issue with. I do have to say over time that it's kind of sunk into very fine lines on my forehead. It does look pretty natural, but there are quite a few areas that are starting to look a little bit more makeup-y. It's almost like it's getting more powdery over time. It has been a few hours, by the way. Don't know if I mentioned that already. It's funny because I guess because there's so much water in here, as that kind of, I guess, gets soaked up by your skin or something, or disappears, like evaporates, the product does become a little more powdery almost, or more drying. So at first it was pretty good and hydrating, but now it's a little bit more drying. Like I wish it stayed a little bit more of the formulation it was before. It almost would have been maybe good if the hydrating properties in here were more of a gel so that they would stay longer. I do have to say it's still not really clinging to dry patches. Like my nose is fine, my T-zone looks fine. I don't really see it sinking into any pores. It does sink into fine lines a bit, but the pores seem to be fine. It is very lightweight. When I touch my skin, it doesn't really come off on my hands at all, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty transfer proof, at least with the amount that I used and everything and how long I've waited. I can't feel it on my skin. It feels very lightweight and breathable. I don't feel like my skin is having any irritation towards it, and I have very sensitive skin, so nothing like that is happening. Honestly, the major thing is just like my forehead's looking very like wrinkly, I guess from like, you know, doing this and stuff. Just like facial expressions and things are kind of the foundation sinking into those small fine lines a little bit. So if you did have larger pores, I don't know if it would sink into that as well. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good foundation, and I do want to try it again with a hydrating primer underneath, and maybe even like a pore filling one, just to, or like a silicone sort of primer, like the Smashbox foundation primer, just to kind of smooth over the face so that those like fine lines, maybe it won't sink in as much. But yeah, I actually think this is a pretty good product. I do find that you have to use quite a bit of the product inside. I did use about like 4 to 5 pumps on my face for like quite a light coverage. So if it's something that you are wanting medium coverage even, I wouldn't recommend this. If you are into the light coverage, then I think you would like this because it is a light coverage foundation. It is definitely a light coverage foundation, and I find light coverage foundations are hard to find, so I think this is a really good option, and it's a good higher end option. I feel like the claims that they made are very true. Like on the box it says, gives a skin a fresh, dewy glow with this unrivaled formula that feels so lightweight, sheer, and comfortable. The quick and easy application makes for ideal for face and body, as the waterproof foundation evens out the complexion to leave a natural looking satin finish. Created with 80% water, this long-lasting, unique water gel texture naturally hydrates and blends in evenly for a smooth, flawless finish. I think when you first initially put it on, it is a bit more dewy and fresh looking, whereas as time goes on, that kind of settles down, and I don't know if it's because my dry skin's soaking up a lot of that like water-based gel like hydration, and it's kind of leaving it with just the rest of the product behind. But it is definitely lightweight, it's definitely sheer, it's definitely comfortable, so I agree with all those things. I think they could put on here like that it's transfer proof, because it's probably one of the most transfer resistant products that I've tried on, and that could also be because it's a very sheer formula though. I do think it's a pretty quick and easy application. I didn't have a huge amount of trouble with it. It was just like once you've put the application on, don't fuss with it, because then that seems to mess with it a little bit. And it does say that it evens out the complexion to leave a natural looking satin finish, and honestly, yeah, that's pretty much dead on of what it did for me. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, give it a thumbs up down below, and remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!